Hello and welcome to Archvelder's Hacks with Archvelder and his amazing hacks. In this video we'll be uncovering how to unlock a secret quest worth at least 500 raw gold. This is a very good way to make raw gold in addition to farming dungeons and raids after you get locked out. For this trick you'll need a level 3 garrison in Draenor. You probably have one already if you played in Warlords of Draenor. If not, I'll link below to a video which shows you how to set one up. Now, first go into the main room of your garrison and there pick up one of the daily quests. We're going to be choosing the Assault on the Pit quest from Gorgrond, but you can do this with any quest that's offered. Now, this quest gives us 60 gold and some Apexis crystals, which were the main currency used during Warlords of Draenor, and are almost completely worthless, which is why no one ever did these quests, and almost everyone ignored the fact that they unlock a very secret and lucrative additional quest, a bit like finding a golden chalice in a snake pit. To complete the Apexis quest, you just kill a bunch of mobs. Yes, this was endgame content in Warlords of Draenor. You fill up a bar and on 120 toon you should be able to do it in as little as 30 seconds or possibly as long as 2 minutes depending on your class and how good its mobility and AoE is. Now, although this is the precursor to the quest we actually want, this is pretty much all you do to get the gold. As we'll see, the subsequent quest is bugged and can be completed almost entirely AFK. So we're going to return to the garrison now. There's a faster way to speed up travel between the quest zone and your garrison, which I'll explain at the end. That knocks a significant amount of time off the quest. So back at the garrison we turn in the Assault on the Pit quest. And then you'll find that your garrison quartermaster is now offering an additional quest, an invasion quest, and this is the one you want. You'll want to pick up your garrison cash at the same time for reasons I'll explain shortly. Now, you're actually pretty much done already, as you can just go AFK beyond this point, but I'm just going to show you what happens next so you know what goes on and how to collect your gold. Now, garrison invasions were an interesting idea that were never really developed properly by Blizzard. The idea being that themed enemies from one of Draenor's zones would invade your garrison and that you would attempt to stop them. If successful, you are awarded a score depending on the number of invaders killed, and this equates to how much loot you get for completing the invasion. Now, there's a major glitch with garrison invasions currently. The scaling is totally messed up, so that invaders are level 100, whereas your guards are the same level that you are. So at 120, you can literally AFK the whole invasion and achieve a score with the maximum possible rewards, as your guards simply massacre any invader they see easily. And you will want to literally AFK these invasions because that makes the whole process very much more efficient from a minute per invested perspective, as you get an average of 500 raw gold alone for essentially 2 minutes work. You can go and make yourself a sandwich. I really like sandwiches. You can pick the herbs in your herb garden. Since the invasion lasts exactly 10 minutes, you can go and watch a Vaulty video. Any Vaulty video. My recent content on legacy, raid and dungeon farming was surprisingly well received, but several people mentioned that you can only do that for 20 to 30 minutes before lockout. Well, this is one of the things you can do in the interim, since the invasion isn't technically an instance. It's worth mentioning that sometimes in stage 4 of the invasion, mobs will get stuck in your garrison building, so you'll need to mop them up before you can proceed to the final stages of the invasion, where you kill the invasion boss. Now, you'll get 300 to 400 raw gold. You'll also get Warlords of Draenor era weapons, and these can be sold for around 60 to 70 gold. You'll also get a shot at some of the garrison auction house modules. Now, these can sell for tens of thousands of golds, but they don't sell that fast, which is why I didn't use some clickbait gold per hour number in the title. But if you keep putting it up on the auction house, items like this will sell eventually. A number of garrison resources and Apexis crystals will drop also. Apexis crystals have to be the single most useless currency in the whole of World of Warcraft, and I could not find any use for them. Garrison resources, however, have some value, which I'll cover in a second. Now, sometimes an object will drop at the end of the invasion, which will allow you to summon a raid boss. And this boss will drop items you can vendor for another 100 gold or so on average. Now, returning to the garrison resources, you'll find that if you loot your cache once a week and you complete the invasion, you'll get around 700 to 800 garrison resources. Now, these are actually worth something because they can be used to purchase items which your garrison can turn directly into gold, which I'll cover in future videos. But for the time being, just know that you can always sell items you can buy in the garrison trading post, such as sumptuous fur, which sell for around 3 gold a unit and can be purchased for 16 garrison resources. You'll find that this adds about 200 to 300 gold to your overall profits from doing the invasion, making for around 700 to 800 gold in total. The 200 to 300 extra gold obviously is not raw gold. You have to sell the items you buy with garrison resources on the auction house, but they usually sell within a day or so. You'll need to buy the items with garrison resources in bulk, so use shift and left click. Now, if you're going to make this part of your regular farming routine, I would strongly recommend building a spirit lodge in your garrison or mage tower for alliance. The reason you want a spirit lodge is that when you accumulate ogre waystones, which can be acquired from killing ogres anywhere in Draenor, then you can power one of these way gates, and this is a portal to and from your garrison to all of the Draenor zones. This will save you an enormous amount of time flying around. Now, this is very much a raw gold farm, so don't tell me that you can make more selling transmog or whatever. I know, this is very much focused on players who want gold right now. Obviously there are ways to make a lot more gold per hour, but they are complex and less satisfying in the short term. Judging from the response to my legacy raid and dungeon farming videos, the general public has a strong preference for this type of content, which is very much focused on raw gold, rather than the type of gold farming where you're trying to get a rare item to drop and hopefully sell that for hundreds of thousands of gold. If you have a less casual and more hardcore approach to gold farming, you may wish to consider joining my Patreon. We have some really valuable plays on there at the moment, which I just couldn't release publicly. Notably, an actual dupe, which I'm very proud of, where you can create some otherwise unobtainable items of value to collectors. Also, some of my patrons recently contributed an amazing find which allows you to literally double your gathering rate from those professions. So there's the video. If you liked it, why not subscribe? Thanks for watching. This has been Archvelder.